My daughter doesn't know I'm not her real mom, and I'm terrified because she just got a DNA test for her birthday. I adopted Haley when she was 3 weeks old. Her birth mom was my coworker at the grocery store, and she knew she couldn't raise a kid at 19. She asked me if I wanted her baby, and I said yes immediately because I'd been trying to get pregnant for 6 years with nothing working. The adoption was done privately through a lawyer, and everything was legal and closed. Birth mom moved to Arizona right after, and we never spoke again. I never told Haley because she was mine from day one. I was there for her first word, first steps, first everything. My husband died when she was 4, so it's been just us two ever since. Why would I tell her and risk her thinking I'm not really her mom? She's 17 now and we're close. She tells me everything. Then 2 weeks ago, my parents decided to give her one of those DNA ancestry kits for her birthday. They thought it would be fun since our family is supposedly part Irish and part German. I stood there holding the wrapped box, watching Haley rip off the paper, and I felt my stomach drop to the floor. She was so excited. She kept saying how cool it would be to see where she came from. I tried to talk her out of it. I said, those tests aren't accurate, and they sell your information to insurance companies. She just laughed and said I was being paranoid. She spit in the tube that same night and mailed it off the next morning before school. The kit said results take 2 to 4 weeks. That was 13 days ago. I've barely slept since. Every time my phone buzzes, I think it's going to be her asking why our DNA doesn't match. Every time she looks at her phone, I wonder if the email came through. I started checking the mail before she gets home from school just in case they send a paper copy. Yesterday, she mentioned the test at dinner. She said she's been checking the app every day and the results should be ready soon. Maybe by this weekend. She wants us to look at them together. She thinks it'll be this fun bonding thing where we see our shared ancestry. I just nodded and said that sounds nice. Last night, I couldn't sleep at all, so I got up at 2 in the morning and sat at the kitchen table. I kept thinking maybe I should just tell her before the results come. But how do I even start that conversation? Hey honey, I know you're about to find out anyway, but surprise, you're adopted? This morning she came downstairs for breakfast and grabbed her phone like always. She opened the DNA app while eating cereal. I watched her scroll through it. My coffee mug was shaking in my hand. Then she looked up at me and smiled. She said the results were processing and should be done by tonight or tomorrow morning. She said she couldn't wait. I'm sitting in my car outside her school right now. She gets out in 20 minutes. My phone is on the passenger seat. I keep staring at it, waiting for her to text me that the results are in. My phone rings and it's my mother. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. She's crying so hard I can barely understand her. She keeps saying I'm sorry over and over. I ask her what's wrong and she finally chokes out that she needs to tell me something about Haley's adoption. Something she's kept from me for 17 years. My blood goes cold. She says the birth mom didn't just randomly ask me to take the baby. She says there was a reason, a connection I never knew about. Before she can explain, I see Haley walking toward my car, holding her phone up excitedly. She's smiling huge and practically running. My mom is still talking, but I can't hear her anymore because I'm watching Haley's face. She reaches the car and yanks open the passenger door with the biggest smile I've ever seen, and the first words out of her mouth are, "Mom, you're never going to believe who I'm related to." My phone is still pressed to my ear, and my mother is saying, "Wait, please don't hang up," but Haley is climbing into the passenger seat, waving her phone at me. I can see the DNA app open on her screen. My heart is beating so hard I can feel it in my throat. "Mom, did you hear me?" Haley says. "Look at this." She shoves her phone toward me and I see percentages and ethnic breakdowns, but my eyes won't focus. I'm still holding my own phone and my mother's voice is getting louder, saying, "Claire, please listen to me." "Who's that?" Haley asks, pointing at my phone. "Grandma," I manage to say. My voice sounds like it's coming from underwater. "Tell her to call back. You have to see this first." Haley is practically bouncing in her seat. I tell my mother I'll call her back and hang up before she can protest. My hand is shaking so bad I almost drop the phone. "Okay," I say to Haley. "Show me." She pulls up something on the app. Not the ethnicity results, the relatives section. "So you know how these tests show you people you're related to? Like distant cousins and stuff?" I nod. Can't speak. "Well, it shows this one person as a close family match. Like really close. It says predicted relationship is aunt or grandmother or half-sibling." She's scrolling now. Her name is Patricia Novak and she's from Arizona. Isn't that weird? We don't know anyone in Arizona. Arizona, where Haley's birth mother moved 17 years ago. My vision goes spotty. "Are you okay?" Haley asks. "You look really pale." "I'm fine," I lie. "Just surprised." "Let me see." I take her phone with trembling hands. Patricia Novak, age 63, lives in Phoenix. Shared DNA 24.7%. The app lists possible relationships. Grandmother, aunt, half-sibling, not mother. The math doesn't work for mother. "I sent her a message through the app," Haley says. "Asked if she knew how we were related. She hasn't responded yet, but I just sent it like 10 minutes ago." I hand her phone back. My brain is trying to process this. If Patricia is showing up as a close match, and Haley's birth mom was 19 when she gave her up, that would make her 36 now. Patricia is 63. Could be her mother. Haley's biological grandmother. "That's really cool," I say, trying to keep my voice steady. These tests can be so interesting, right? I wonder if she knew about me. Like, do you think there's some family drama we don't know about? You have no idea, kid. We drive home and Haley is on her phone the whole time reading about DNA percentages and family trees. I'm gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles are white. The second we get in the house, Haley runs upstairs to her room to keep researching. I call my mother back. She answers on the first ring. What connection? I say. What didn't you tell me? My mother takes a shaky breath. The girl who gave you Haley. Bridget. She was your half-sister. The room tilts. I sit down hard on the kitchen floor. What are you talking about? Your father had an affair when you were in high school with a woman named Patricia Novak. She got pregnant, had a daughter named Bridget. Your father paid child support, but we never told you. We thought it was better that way. My father, who died 9 years ago, who I thought I knew. So Haley's birth mother was my half-sister, I say slowly, which makes Haley my niece. Yes, and you knew this. When I adopted her, you knew. We thought Bridget would disappear after the adoption, move on with her life. We never imagined she'd stay in Arizona near her mother. We definitely never thought Haley would take a DNA test. I'm still sitting on the floor, my back against the kitchen cabinets. Does Haley know Patricia messaged her back? My mother asks. She sent Patricia a message. Patricia hasn't responded yet. Oh God. Claire, you need to tell Haley the truth before Patricia does. How? I'm almost yelling now. How do I tell my daughter I've been lying to her for 17 years? That I'm not actually her mom? That her real mom is my secret half-sister, who I didn't even know existed? You are her real mom, my mother says firmly. You raised her. Bridget gave birth to her, but she didn't want to be a mother. She specifically chose you. Because we were related. She knew we were related, and I didn't. I don't know if she knew, my mother says. Your father died before Haley was born. Bridget might not have known either. This is too much. My phone buzzes with a text. It's from a number I don't recognize. This is Patricia Novak. I got a message from someone named Haley saying we're related according to a DNA test. I think we need to talk. Is this Claire? I stare at the message. How does she know my number? Another text comes through. Your mother gave me your number. Please call me. It's important. I tell my mom I have to go and hang up. Then I call the number. Patricia answers immediately. Her voice is older, tired. Claire? How do you know who I am? I know everything, she says. Your mother just called me in a panic. Told me Haley took a DNA test. Told me you never knew about Bridget being your half-sister. Where is Bridget? I ask. Where's Haley's birth mother? Patricia is quiet for a long moment. Then she says, Bridget died 2 years ago. Car accident. I'm sorry you're finding out this way. The floor seems to fall out from under me even though I'm already sitting on it. She's dead. Yes. She never had other children. Never married. Giving up, Haley broke something in her, but she always said she did the right thing. She said she wanted her daughter to have a real mom, not a screwed-up kid who got pregnant in a one-night stand. Upstairs, I hear Haley's door open. Her footsteps on the stairs. I have to go. I whisper into the phone. Wait, Patricia says. Haley messaged me asking how we're related. What do you want me to tell her? Haley appears in the kitchen doorway. Who are you talking to? I look at my daughter. My beautiful, smart, trusting daughter who thinks I'm her biological mother, who has no idea that her entire life is about to change. It's Patricia, I say. From your DNA results. She called me. Haley's eyes go wide. Really? What did she say? Does she know how we're related? I look at her and I know I have two choices. I can keep lying and hope Patricia goes along with it, or I can tell her the truth and lose everything. She says she's your grandmother. I tell Haley. Your biological grandmother. Haley's face lights up. That's so cool. But wait, that doesn't make sense. If she's my grandmother, that means one of my parents. She trails off, looking at me. Really looking at me. Mom, what's going on? I take a deep breath. Sit down, honey. We need to talk. 20 minutes later, Haley is sitting at the kitchen table staring at me like I'm a stranger. I've just told her everything. The adoption, her birth mother Bridget, the half-sister connection I didn't know about, my father's affair, all of it. So you're not my mom, she says. Her voice is flat. I am your mom. I raised you. I've been your mom since you were 3 weeks old. But you're not my real mom. Haley, you lied to me for 17 years. She stands up so fast her chair falls backward. You let me think we were blood related. You watched me take that DNA test knowing it would expose everything and you said nothing. I wanted to tell you. I tried to talk you out of the test. By saying it wasn't accurate? By making up some bullshit about insurance companies? She's crying now. You could have just told me the truth. I was scared. Of what? That I'd find out? Well, congratulations. Now I know. My whole life is a lie. She runs upstairs before I can respond. Her door slams hard enough to shake the walls. I'm still sitting at the kitchen table when my phone rings again. Patricia. How did she take it? She asks. How do you think? I'd like to meet her. If that's okay. It's not okay. Nothing about this is okay. Claire, I'm not trying to take her from you, but she's my granddaughter. My only connection to Bridget. Please. I close my eyes. I need to talk to Haley first. She's not in a good place right now. I understand. But Claire? Bridget left her something. A letter. She wrote it a few months before she died. She wanted Haley to have it when she turned 18, but given the circumstances. What does it say? I don't know. It's sealed. Addressed to Haley. Of course there's a letter, because this situation wasn't complicated enough already. I spend the next 3 hours sitting outside Haley's door trying to get her to talk to me. She won't answer. Won't open the door. Around 8 p.m., she texts me to leave her alone. I go downstairs and pour myself a glass of wine. Then another. My phone won't stop buzzing. My mother calling to check in. My father's sister asking if the rumors are true. Apparently my mother called her too. By morning, half our extended family will know. Around 11 p.m., I hear Haley's door open. She comes downstairs in her pajamas, eyes red from crying. I have questions, she says. We sit at the kitchen table until 2 in the morning. She asks me everything. Why I never told her. What I knew about Bridget. If I ever tried to find her. Whether my husband knew the truth. He did. We'd agreed together not to tell Haley. Did you ever love me? She asks at one point. Or was I just some obligation? Your half-sister's kid you got stuck with? I loved you from the second I held you. I tell her. The first night you were home, you wouldn't stop crying. I walked around the house with you for hours, singing every lullaby I could remember. Around 3 a.m., you finally fell asleep on my chest and I just stood there in the dark holding you, thinking I'd never been so happy in my entire life. Then why didn't you tell me? Because I was selfish. Because I didn't want to risk losing you. Because every day that went by made it harder to bring up until it felt impossible. She's quiet for a long time. Then she says, I want to meet Patricia. I want to read the letter from Bridget. Okay, but I'm really mad at you. I know. I don't know if I can forgive you. I know that too. She goes back upstairs. I sit at the table until the sun comes up, watching the sky turn from black to gray to pink. My phone buzzes with a text from Patricia, asking if we can meet this weekend. She's willing to fly to us. I text back, yes. 3 days later, I'm standing in the airport arrivals area watching people stream through the doors. Haley is next to me, silent. We haven't talked much since our 2 a.m. kitchen conversation. She goes to school, comes home, stays in her room. I hear her on the phone sometimes, talking to her friends. I wonder what she's telling them. Patricia comes through the doors pulling a small suitcase. She's tall, gray hair cut short, wearing jeans and a purple sweater. She looks nothing like Bridget did in the one photo I have from when we worked together. But when she sees Haley, her face does this thing. This crumpling combination of joy and grief that makes my chest hurt. Haley, she says. Not a question. Haley nods. Hi. They stare at each other for a long moment. Then Patricia pulls an envelope from her purse. This is from your mother, she says. Bridget. She wanted you to have it. Haley takes the envelope with shaking hands. Her name is written on the front in handwriting I don't recognize. She looks at me. Do you want to read it now or wait until we get home? I ask. Now, she says. We find an empty seating area near the baggage claim. Haley sits between me and Patricia. She opens the envelope carefully, like it might fall apart. Inside is a letter written on lined notebook paper. She reads it silently. I watch her face change, her eyes filling with tears, her mouth trembling. When she's done, she hands it to me without a word. I read it. Dear Haley, if you're reading this, it means you know the truth. I'm sorry for that. I never wanted you to know about me. I wanted you to grow up thinking Claire was your mom in every way. Because she is. She's the mom I could never be. I was 19 when I got pregnant with you. I won't tell you about your father because he doesn't matter. He was a mistake I made at a party and I never saw him again. When I found out I was pregnant, I knew I couldn't keep you. Not because I didn't want you, but because I knew I'd mess you up. My own childhood was rough. My mom did her best, but we struggled. I was angry all the time. I made bad choices. I didn't want that for you. Then I found out Claire worked at the same grocery store as me. I knew who she was. Your grandfather? My father. He'd shown me pictures once. Told me I had a half-sister. He died before you were born, so he never knew about you. And when I found out Claire had been trying to have a baby for years, it felt like fate. I could give you to someone who desperately wanted you. Someone who would love you the way you deserved. Someone who was family, even if she didn't know it. I asked Claire to adopt you and she said yes immediately. I've never regretted that decision, but I do regret not being brave enough to be your mom myself. I regret that you'll grow up not knowing me. I regret that I'm too broken to fix myself. By the time you read this, I'll probably be gone. Not in a dramatic way. I'm not planning anything, but I know myself. I know I don't take care of myself the way I should. I drive too fast. I drink too much. I take stupid risks because some part of me doesn't think I deserve to be careful. If I'm wrong and I'm still alive when you find out about me, I'm sorry for this depressing letter. If I'm right and I'm gone, I want you to know that giving you to Claire was the best thing I ever did. You deserved better than me. You got better than me. Don't be mad at Claire for not telling you. I asked her not to. She didn't know we were related, but even if she had, she would have kept her promise to me. That's the kind of person she is. That's why I chose her. Live a good life, Haley. Be happy. Be everything I couldn't be. Love, Bridget. I finish reading and look up. Haley is sobbing. Patricia has her arm around her. I feel like an intruder watching this moment between granddaughter and grandmother. But then Haley reaches for me too, and I'm pulled into this awkward 3-person hug in the middle of the airport while travelers walk past dragging suitcases and checking their phones. She died in a car accident, Patricia says quietly. 2 years ago. She was driving too fast in the rain and lost control. They said she died instantly. Haley makes this horrible choking sound. I hold her tighter. We drive to our house in silence. Patricia sits in the back with her suitcase. Haley stares out the window. I focus on driving and try not to think about Bridget's letter, about how she knew she was broken, how she predicted her own death in a way. At home I make coffee, nobody drinks. We sit in the living room, this weird triangle of grief and confusion. Finally, Patricia speaks. I have photos, she says, of Bridget. Growing up, if you want to see them. Haley nods. Patricia pulls out her phone and starts scrolling. Haley moves closer to look. I stay where I am, giving them space. But Patricia looks up at me. You should see these too, she says. You're in some of them. What? She hands me the phone. The photo on screen shows two teenage girls standing together at what looks like a mall food court. They're maybe 15, 16. One of them is unmistakably me. Braces, terrible haircut, wearing a shirt I remember owning. The other girl must be Bridget. Same age, dark hair like mine but curlier. Same nose. We could be sisters. We were sisters. When was this taken? I ask. Summer of 1999, Patricia says. Bridget saw you at the mall and followed you around for an hour. She took this photo from across the food court. She kept it in her room for years. There are more photos. Me walking into the grocery store where we both worked. Me sitting on a bench outside the library. Me getting into my car. All taken from a distance. All without me knowing. She was obsessed with you, Patricia says. She wanted so badly to tell you who she was. But your father made her promise not to. He said it would destroy your family. I think about my father. How he died when Haley was 8. How I cried at his funeral and gave a eulogy about what a good man he was. What a devoted father. All while his other daughter, the one I didn't know existed, was living in Arizona trying to raise money for the adoption she'd planned. Did he know? I asked Patricia. That Bridget was pregnant? That she was planning to give the baby to me? No. He died before she could tell him. I think she was relieved in a way. She didn't want him trying to interfere. Haley is still scrolling through photos. She stops on one of Bridget holding a newborn baby. She zooms in. Is this me? She whispers. Yes, Patricia says. That's the only photo we have of her with you. She let me come to the hospital after you were born. She held you for maybe 20 minutes. Then she handed you to the nurse and told them to call Claire. Haley traces her finger over the screen, over Bridget's face. She's smiling in the photo, but her eyes are red. She's been crying. Can I have these pictures? Haley asks. Of course. I'll send them all to you. We spend the rest of the day looking at photos and listening to Patricia tell stories about Bridget. She was smart but never applied herself. She loved music but couldn't carry a tune. She worked as a waitress, a retail clerk, a dog walker. She dated but never seriously. She moved apartments every few years, always looking for something better, somewhere that felt like home. She came to see you once, Patricia tells Haley, when you were 7. Claire, you'd taken her to that park on Riverside Street, the one with the good playground. My heart stops. Bridget was there. She sat on a bench on the other side of the park and watched you play together for about an hour. She called me crying afterward. Said you were the most beautiful child she'd ever seen. Said Claire was exactly the kind of mother she'd hoped you'd have. Haley is crying again. I'm crying. Even Patricia has tears running down her face. That night I make up the guest room for Patricia. Haley asks if she can sleep in there with her grandmother and Patricia says yes. I lie in my bed alone, listening to their voices murmuring through the wall. Haley laughs at something, and it's the first time I've heard her laugh since the DNA results came in. I should be happy, but all I feel is this deep ache, like I'm losing her, like she's finding a family that doesn't include me. The next morning, Haley comes downstairs while I'm making breakfast. Patricia is still asleep. I've been thinking, she says. I brace myself. I'm still mad at you for lying to me. I don't know when I'll stop being mad. I nod. Wait, but I get why Bridget chose you. I get why she thought you'd be a good mom. She pauses. You are a good mom, even though you lied. Something in my chest loosens. Thank you. I want Patricia to stay longer. Is that okay? Of course. And I want to go to Arizona sometime. See where Bridget lived. Visit her grave. We can do that. But I'm not calling you Claire, she says firmly. You're still Mom. I don't care if we're not blood related. You're the one who was there. I start crying again. Haley comes over and hugs me, and we stand there in the kitchen holding each other while the eggs burn on the stove and the smoke alarm starts beeping. Patricia stays for a week. She and Haley become inseparable. They have the same laugh, the same way of tilting their head when they're thinking, the same habit of tapping their fingers when they're nervous. Watching them together is like seeing pieces of Bridget I never got to know. On Patricia's last day, she pulls me aside while Haley is upstairs packing for school. Thank you, she says, for raising her, for loving her. Bridget was right about you. I don't feel like I did anything special. I just loved her. That's exactly what made you special. Patricia hands me a business card with her number. Stay in touch, both of you. You're family now. Family. The word used to feel simple. Now it's this complicated web of biology and choice and secrets and love. After Patricia leaves, Haley goes back to school. Her friends ask where she was all week, and she tells them the truth. She has a whole other family she didn't know about. Within days, everyone knows. Parents I've known for years start looking at me differently. Some avoid me in the grocery store. Others corner me and ask invasive questions about the adoption. Haley's best friend Morgan tells her it's really cool that she has such a complex backstory, like she's a character in a TV show. Haley tells me this while rolling her eyes, but I can tell part of her agrees. My mother tries to call multiple times. I don't answer. I'm too angry. She finally shows up at the house uninvited. We need to talk about this, she says. About how you lied to me my entire life? About how you watched me adopt my half-sister's baby and never said a word? We were protecting you. From what? The truth? From getting hurt. Your father was ashamed of what he'd done. The affair nearly destroyed our marriage. We worked hard to move past it. Telling you about Bridget would have brought it all back. So you let me go through life not knowing I had a sister. You let that sister die without me ever meeting her. You let me build my entire relationship with Haley on a lie. You did adopt her legally. That wasn't a lie. The circumstances were a lie. The fact that she was family was a lie. Everything was a lie. My mother starts crying. I don't comfort her. Your father loved you so much, she says. He made mistakes, but he loved you. Did he love Bridget? She's quiet for a long time. Then she says, I don't know. I think he tried. But he loved you more. You were his first daughter. His legitimate daughter. The word legitimate makes me want to throw something. Get out, I tell her. Claire, get out of my house. She leaves. We don't speak for 2 months. Haley starts therapy. A counselor who specializes in adoption and family trauma. She comes home from her first session and says it helped. She goes every week after that. I start therapy too. Different counselor. We spend a lot of time talking about guilt and shame and what it means to be a parent. About how I can't control what Haley feels or how long she needs to process. About how her anger is valid even if it hurts me. 3 months after the DNA results came in, Haley asks if we can go to Arizona. I book flights immediately. Patricia picks us up from the Phoenix airport. She's planned out a whole itinerary. The apartment where Bridget last lived. The diner where she worked as a waitress. The cemetery where she's buried. We stand at Bridget's grave on a hot Tuesday afternoon. The headstone is simple. Bridget Ann Novak. And 1988 to 2023. Beloved daughter. Haley places flowers on the grave. Purple tulips. Patricia told us they were Bridget's favorite. Hi, Haley says to the headstone. I'm Haley. I'm your daughter. I wish I could have met you. She cries. I cry. Patricia cries. The cemetery groundskeeper probably thinks we're a mess, but I don't care. That night we have dinner at Patricia's house. She's made Bridget's favorite meal. Spaghetti with way too much garlic bread. We look through more photo albums. Haley asks a million questions. What was Bridget's favorite subject in school? Did she have pets? What did she want to be when she grew up? Patricia answers everything. Bridget loved history but was terrible at math. She had a cat named Smokey who lived to be 19. She wanted to be a photographer but never pursued it seriously. She took all those photos of you, Patricia tells me, pulling out an old album. She got really into photography for a while, bought a nice camera with her tax return. But after Haley was born, she stopped. I think it hurt too much. Looking through a lens, capturing moments she wasn't part of. The album is full of those surveillance photos of me. Me at the store, me at the park, me pumping gas, me living my life while being watched by someone I didn't know existed. It should feel creepy, but it doesn't. It just feels sad. We stay in Arizona for 5 days. On the last night, Patricia gives Haley a box of Bridget's things. Journals, photos, a necklace shaped like a camera, some CDs of bands I've never heard of. Haley holds the box like it's made of glass. On the flight home, Haley reads through the journals. Most of them are from before she was born. Teenage angst and bad poetry and complaints about work. But there's one entry from right after she gave Haley up. Haley reads it out loud. I held her for 20 minutes before I couldn't do it anymore. She's perfect. 10 fingers, 10 toes, bright eyes that looked right at me like she could see into my soul. I wanted to keep her so badly I thought I might die from it. But I know I'd ruin her. I'd mess her up the way my parents messed me up. So, I gave her to Claire. I watched through the window as they put her in Claire's arms. Claire started crying immediately. Happy tears. The kind of tears I'll never be able to cry. She's going to be such a good mom. Better than I ever could be. My baby deserves better than me. She deserves Claire. Haley closes the journal. She really loved you. Bridget. She thought you were amazing. I don't know what to say to that. At home, life slowly finds a new normal. Haley keeps going to therapy. She puts photos of Bridget in her room alongside photos of us. She talks to Patricia on the phone every week. She joins an online support group for adoptees who found out late about their adoption. She's still mad at me sometimes. Usually when friends talk about their moms and how close they are, or when someone asks if we look alike and she has to explain that we're not biologically related. But the anger is less sharp now. More like a bruise that hurts when you press on it but doesn't throb constantly. 6 months after the DNA test, Haley gets her college acceptance letters. She's been accepted to 5 schools. Her first choice is Arizona State. I want to be closer to Patricia, she explains, and I want to learn more about Bridget, where she lived, what her life was like. Part of me wants to beg her to stay close to home, to choose one of the local schools, but I don't, because she's right. She needs this. Arizona State is a great school. I tell her, I'm proud of you. She hugs me tight. I'll come home for breaks. And you can visit. I'll visit so much you'll get sick of me. Never. That summer before she leaves for college, we go through old boxes in the attic. Photos from when she was little, her baby book, her first shoes, report cards and art projects and participation trophies. You kept everything, Haley says, looking at a finger painting from preschool. Of course I did. You're my daughter. She looks at me. Really looks at me. I know I've been difficult about everything. About the adoption, about you not telling me. You had every right to be upset, but I need you to know that you're my mom. Biology doesn't change that. Bridget might have given birth to me, but you raised me. You're the one who was there for every skinned knee and bad dream and first day of school. You're my mom. I start crying for probably the 1,000th time in 6 months. Haley hugs me and we sit there on the dusty attic floor surrounded by boxes of memories, while the afternoon light streams through the small window. My mother reaches out again, sends a text asking if we can talk. I ignore it for a week. Then I respond. We meet at a coffee shop. Neutral territory. She looks older, more tired. She orders a decaf latte and picks at a blueberry muffin. I'm sorry, she says, for everything. For not telling you about Bridget. For making you feel like you had to lie to Haley. You didn't make me lie. That was my choice. But you should have told me the truth from the beginning. I know. Your father and I thought we were protecting everyone. But we were just protecting ourselves. Our secret. Our shame. Did you ever think about Bridget? After she moved to Arizona? All the time. My mother says quietly. I wondered if she was okay. If she was happy. If she resented us. When Patricia called to tell us about the car accident, I cried for days. Not just because she died, but because she died thinking we didn't care about her. Did you care about her? She's quiet for a long time. I tried not to. She was evidence of your father's betrayal. But yes, I cared. She was a child. None of it was her fault. We talk for 2 hours. It doesn't fix everything. I'm still angry, still hurt, but it's a start. When I get home, Haley asks how it went. It was okay, I tell her. We talked. It helped a little. Good. Because I invited her to my graduation party. My mother comes to the party. So does Patricia, flying in from Arizona. They meet for the first time in my backyard while Haley opens presents and her friends eat too much cake. I watch them talk. These two women connected by a man who's been dead for 9 years, connected by a girl who gave up a baby, connected by secrets that nearly destroyed us all. Patricia says something that makes my mother laugh. Actually laugh. Haley catches my eye across the yard and smiles. Maybe families aren't about blood or secrets or who was there first. Maybe they're about who shows up, who stays, who loves you even when the truth is messy and complicated and hard. Haley leaves for Arizona State in August. I cry the whole drive home from the airport. The house feels too empty without her. But she calls every Sunday. Sends photos of her dorm room, her new friends, the campus. She joins the photography club. Says she wants to learn the skill Bridget never pursued. For Thanksgiving, she flies home. Brings her roommate who couldn't afford to go back to Ohio. We set an extra place at the table and I make way too much food. During dinner, Haley's roommate asks how we're related. Haley looks at me. I look at her. She's my mom, Haley says simply. That's all that matters. Later that night, after everyone has gone to bed, I find Haley in the kitchen eating leftover pie. I'm glad you told me, she says. About the adoption. About Bridget. Even though it was hard. Me too. I've been thinking about Bridget's letter. About how she said giving me to you was the best thing she ever did. Yeah? I think she was right. Not because you're perfect. You're not. You lied to me for 17 years. She says it without anger now. Just fact. But because you loved me. Because you chose me every single day. That matters more than DNA. I sit down next to her. We eat pie straight from the dish with 2 forks. I'm proud of you, I tell her. For how you've handled all of this. For being so mature about everything. I had a good teacher, she says. Outside, snow starts to fall. The first snow of the season. Haley watches it through the window, her face reflected in the glass. She looks so much older than she did 6 months ago. But when she smiles, she's still my little girl, my daughter. Blood or not, she's mine, and I'm hers. That's the truth that matters. Update 1. 3 months later. I'm writing this from Haley's dorm room in Arizona. She texted me yesterday saying we needed to talk and could I come visit. The tone felt urgent enough that I booked a flight immediately. Now I'm sitting on her roommate's bed while Haley paces back and forth. She's been doing that for 10 minutes. Just pacing. Not talking. Haley, you're freaking me out. What's going on? She stops. Turns to face me. I found him. Found who? My biological father. Everything stops. I've spent so much mental energy on Bridget and Patricia and the adoption that I completely forgot about the other half of Haley's DNA. How? Is all I can manage. The DNA test. Remember? The one that started this whole thing? Well, it doesn't just show relatives on one side. I've been looking through all my matches. There was this one guy. Shows up as a close family match. The site predicted either uncle or half-sibling. She pulls up her laptop and shows me a profile. Ryan Castellano, age 39, lives in San Diego. I messaged him 2 weeks ago. Haley continues. Asked if he knew how we might be related. He responded yesterday. She hands me her phone. I read the message thread. Ryan's first response. This is unexpected. I don't have any siblings that I know of. When were you born? Haley. June 2007. In Phoenix. Ryan. I need to think about this. Can I call you? They'd talked on the phone. He admitted to a one-night stand in Phoenix in late 2006. He'd been there for a conference. Met a girl at a hotel bar. They never exchanged numbers. He never knew her name. Bridget? I say quietly. Yeah. He had no idea she got pregnant. Had no idea I existed. Haley sits down next to me. He wants to meet me. Do you want to meet him? I don't know. Maybe? He seems nice from our phone call. He's married, has 2 kids. My half-siblings, technically. 2 more siblings Haley didn't know about. This family tree keeps growing. He's a high school teacher, Haley says. History. He sent me photos of his family. His wife knows about me now. She was shocked, but she's being really cool about it. She shows me the photos. Ryan looks like a normal guy. Polo shirt, khaki pants, standing in front of a classroom. His wife is pretty, blonde, smiling in their family photo. Their kids? A boy and a girl, maybe 8 and 10 years old. When does he want to meet? Next weekend. He offered to drive up here, or I could go to San Diego. I told him I needed to talk to you first. This is your decision, honey. If you want to meet him, you should. But what if it's weird? What if his family hates me? What if I hate him? Then you'll know. And you can decide what kind of relationship you want to have. But Haley, you can't unknow this. Once you meet him, there's no going back to pretending he doesn't exist. She nods slowly. I want to meet him, but I want you there too. We set up a meeting for the following Saturday at a restaurant halfway between San Diego and Phoenix. Neutral territory. I fly back to Arizona Friday night and pick Haley up from campus Saturday morning. The drive to the restaurant takes 3 hours. Haley is quiet most of the way, earbuds in, staring out the window. I don't push her to talk. Ryan is already there when we arrive, sitting at a table in the back corner, wearing a button-down shirt and jeans. He stands when he sees us, and I watch his face change as he looks at Haley. You look just like my mother, he says. Same eyes, same smile. Haley doesn't know how to respond to that. We sit, order drinks. The conversation is painfully awkward at first. What do you say to your biological father you just found out existed? Ryan tells us about himself. Grew up in California, went to college at UC Davis, taught high school for 15 years, met his wife Lauren 10 years ago, had their kids 3 years apart. I never knew, he keeps saying. If I'd known about you, I would have. I don't know what I would have done, but I wouldn't have just disappeared. Bridget never tried to find you, Haley says. She told Patricia, her mom, that my father didn't matter, that he was just some guy from a party. Ryan winces. I mean, she wasn't wrong. We spent maybe 4 hours together total. I was in town for a 3-day conference. We hooked up the second night. I flew home the next day. I didn't even know her last name. It's strange hearing the details of Haley's conception laid out so matter-of-factly. This isn't some romantic story. It's 2 people who made a decision one night that created a whole person. What do you want from this? Ryan asks Haley. From meeting me? From knowing about me? Haley thinks for a minute. I don't know yet. I just wanted to see who you were, to have answers. That's fair. For what it's worth, I'd like to get to know you. If you're comfortable with that, no pressure. We can go as slow as you want. They exchange phone numbers. Make plans to talk again next week. Ryan shows Haley photos of his kids, her half-siblings. Tells her they know about her and have been asking when they can meet their big sister. After lunch, we walk Ryan to his car. He hugs Haley goodbye. It's awkward and brief, but it's something. On the drive back to Phoenix, Haley is quiet again. Then suddenly she says, I have 4 parents now. You, Bridget, Patricia kind of, and Ryan, plus his wife Lauren if she stays in the picture. That's a lot of people. You don't have to call them all parents. I know, but it's weird, right? Most people have 2 parents. Some have 1. I have this whole collection of people who are responsible for me existing or raising me or whatever. Does it feel like too much? Sometimes, but also kind of cool. Like I have all these people who care about me, even the ones I just met. Over the next few months, Haley builds a relationship with Ryan. They talk on the phone weekly. She visits San Diego twice, meets his kids, who think it's incredibly cool that they have a sister in college. Lauren, Ryan's wife, is surprisingly welcoming. She tells Haley that Ryan had been devastated when he found out he had a daughter he never knew about, that he'd cried for days thinking about all the years he missed. He's a good dad, Lauren tells Haley during one visit. He would have been a good dad to you too if he'd known. Haley tells me this on the phone one night. Do you think that's true? She asks. Maybe, but it doesn't matter now. What matters is that he wants to be in your life now. Are you okay with all this? Me having a relationship with Ryan? Honey, I want you to have every relationship that makes you happy. That includes Ryan. Christmas that year is complicated. Haley wants to spend part of it with Ryan's family. I try not to feel hurt about it. You can come too, she says. Ryan invited both of us. That's okay. You should have time with them. I'll see you when you get back. I spend Christmas with my mother, just the 2 of us. She makes her famous ham. We watch old movies and don't talk about anything heavy. It's nice. Quiet. Haley comes back the day after Christmas glowing. She tells me about Ryan's family traditions, how they make homemade pizzas on Christmas Eve, how Lauren let her help wrap presents for the kids, how Ryan's mother, Haley's other grandmother, cried when she met her. She said I was a gift she never expected, Haley says, that finding out about me was the best Christmas present she ever got. I'm happy for her, really, but there's this small part of me that hurts, this selfish part that wants to be enough, that doesn't want to share her with all these new people. My therapist tells me this is normal, that it's okay to feel complicated emotions about Haley building these new relationships. You're not losing her, my therapist says. She's just gaining more people to love. That doesn't diminish what you have together. I try to believe that. In February, Patricia has a health scare, a minor heart attack. She's okay, but it shakes everyone up. Haley flies to Phoenix immediately, and I meet her there. We spend a week helping Patricia at home, cooking meals, managing medications, making sure she's resting. It's the first time the three of us have spent extended time together since the initial visit. One night after Patricia has gone to bed, Haley and I sit on her porch drinking tea. I've been thinking about changing my name, Haley says. My heart stops. To what? I want to add Novak, like as a second middle name. Haley Marie Novak Bennett, to honor Bridget and Patricia. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. You don't need my permission. I know, but I wanted you to be okay with it. I think it's beautiful. Bridget would have loved that. Haley starts the legal name change process the next month. It's official by spring. Update 2. 1 year later. Haley is in her sophomore year now, double majoring in photography and psychology. She says she wants to work with adoptees someday, help them process their identities and family dynamics. Because of everything you went through? I asked during one of our Sunday calls. Yeah. I mean, finding out at 17 that I was adopted? That was traumatic. But I had you and Patricia, and eventually Ryan. I had support. Some adoptees don't have that. They're just cut loose with this information and no one to help them process it. She's already volunteering at an adoption support center near campus, facilitating discussion groups for late discovery adoptees, people who found out they were adopted as teenagers or adults. There's this one woman, Veronica, Haley tells me. She found out at 35 that her dad wasn't her biological father. Her mom had lied for 35 years. She's so angry. Won't speak to her mom at all. How are you helping her? Mostly just listening. Validating that her anger is real and okay. Reminding her that she gets to decide what relationship she wants with her mom moving forward. That there's no right way to handle this. I'm so proud of her I could burst. In April, Ryan calls me directly for the first time. It's awkward. We've interacted in group settings but never one-on-one. I wanted to thank you, he says, for raising Haley. You don't need to thank me. I do though. I know this whole situation has been hard on you. Haley, finding out about me, building a relationship with my family. I just want you to know that I'm not trying to replace you. I could never replace you. I appreciate that. Lauren and I have been talking. We want to set up a college fund for Haley, help with tuition and expenses. We know you've been covering everything and we want to contribute. I don't know what to say. Part of me wants to refuse, to tell him I don't need his help, but that's pride talking. The reality is that college is expensive and Haley has 2 more years left. That's very generous, I finally say. She's my daughter too, Ryan says quietly. I missed the first 17 years. I'm not missing anything else. They set up a fund, cover half of Haley's remaining tuition and housing costs. When I thank them, Lauren says it's the least they can do. In May, I get a call from a lawyer. Apparently my mother has been diagnosed with early-stage Alzheimer's. She's updating her will and wants to talk to me about it. We meet at her lawyer's office. My mother looks small in the leather chair, older than her 68 years. I'm leaving everything to you, she says. The house, the savings, everything. I know we've had our difficulties, but you're my daughter. You're all I have. Mom, you don't need to do this now. You could live another 20 years. Maybe, but I want it settled. I want you to know that despite everything, despite the lies and the secrets, I love you. I always have. We haven't said I love you to each other in years, maybe decades. Hearing it now makes my throat tight. I love you too, Mom. She puts me in charge of her medical decisions too. Says she trusts me to make the right choices when the time comes. That summer, Haley interns at a photography studio in San Diego, lives with Ryan and Lauren. Their kids adore her. She sends me photos of them doing normal family things. Beach trips, movie nights, backyard barbecues. I'm happy for her, but I'm also lonely. The house is too quiet. I start thinking about dating again, maybe getting a dog, something to fill the space. My friend Morgan from work sets me up on a blind date. His name is Peter. He's a contractor, divorced, has a daughter in college too. We meet for coffee and talk for 3 hours. It's nice, easy. He doesn't ask too many questions about my complicated family situation, and I don't pry into why his marriage ended. We start seeing each other regularly. Nothing serious, just dinner dates and weekend hikes. It's exactly what I need. When I tell Haley about Peter on our Sunday call, she's thrilled. Mom, that's amazing. When do I get to meet him? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've only been seeing each other for 6 weeks. Still, I want to vet him. Make sure he's good enough for you. She sounds like a parent. When did that happen? Peter and I are having dinner at my house when Haley surprises us. She drove home from San Diego for the weekend without telling me. Wanted to meet Peter in person. She interrogates him for an hour. Asks about his job, his hobbies, his political views, how he treats servers at restaurants. Peter handles it like a champ. Even makes her laugh. After he leaves, Haley gives me her approval. He's good, Mom. Keep him around. I'll take that under advisement. I'm serious. You deserve to be happy. You spent 17 years raising me alone. It's time for you to have something for yourself. When did my daughter get so wise? In August, Patricia has another health scare. This one is more serious. She needs surgery to clear blocked arteries. Haley and I both fly to Phoenix. The surgery goes well, but recovery is slow. Patricia can't live alone anymore. We start looking at assisted living facilities. I could move to Phoenix, Haley says. Transfer to ASU for my junior and senior year. Be closer to help. Absolutely not. You love San Diego. You're doing amazing work there. But Patricia needs help, and we'll figure it out. But you're not putting your life on hold. We find a good facility near Patricia's doctor. She moves in September. Haley visits every weekend. I visit once a month, flying in Friday and leaving Sunday. It's during one of these visits that Patricia tells us something shocking. We're sitting in her room. She's in her recliner, Haley and I on the small couch. Patricia has been quiet all day, which isn't like her. I need to tell you both something, she finally says. About Bridget. About why she really gave you up. Haley and I exchange glances. We know why, Haley says gently. She was 19 and didn't feel ready to be a mom. That's part of it. But there's more. Patricia takes a shaky breath. Bridget had a lot of mental health issues. Depression, anxiety, PTSD from some things that happened when she was younger. She was in therapy on and off her whole life. She was terrified of passing those issues on to you, of not being stable enough to raise a child. What things? Haley asks quietly. Patricia looks at me. Claire, your father wasn't just unfaithful to your mother with me. There were others. I found out later that he had a pattern. Young women, vulnerable women. He'd have affairs and then disappear when it got complicated. My stomach drops. With Bridget, Patricia continues, it was different. I thought he genuinely cared about her. He'd visit sometimes, bring gifts, act like a father, but when she got older, around 15, something changed. He started being inappropriate. Comments about her body, walking in on her when she was changing and saying it was an accident. Oh God, I whisper. I didn't know at the time. Bridget didn't tell me until years later. By then your father was already sick, already dying. She said she didn't want to ruin his last months, that she'd dealt with it in therapy and was moving on. Haley is crying. Did he do more than comments? She said no, that he'd crossed boundaries but never assaulted her. But Claire, I'm telling you this because you need to know who your father really was. And Haley, you need to know that Bridget's decision to give you up wasn't just about being young. She was genuinely afraid of being a mother, afraid she was too damaged. We sit in silence for a long time. Why are you telling us this now? I finally ask. Because I'm 74 years old and I've had 2 heart attacks. I might not have much time left, and I don't want to die with this secret. You both deserve the truth. That night, Haley and I stay in a hotel near Patricia's facility. We order room service and sit on our beds eating mediocre pasta. Are you okay? I ask her. I don't know. I'm processing. It explains a lot about Bridget, though. Why she was so broken. Why she felt like she couldn't be a parent. I'm so sorry. About my father. About what he did to her. It's not your fault. You didn't know. I should have known. There must have been signs. Mom, you were a kid, and then a young adult trying to build your own life. You couldn't have known. But I keep thinking about my father. About the man I thought he was versus who he actually was. How many other young women did he hurt? How many other secrets are buried? We don't tell anyone else about what Patricia revealed. It's too heavy. Too complicated. But it changes things. Changes how I remember my father. Changes how Haley thinks about Bridget. In October, my mother has a bad episode. She gets confused and wanders away from her house. A neighbor finds her 2 miles away in her nightgown, trying to buy milk with expired coupons. I move her into a memory care facility near my house. She fights it at first, but eventually accepts that she can't live alone anymore. Haley comes home for fall break to help with the move. We sort through 50 years of accumulated possessions, photo albums and old furniture, and boxes of my childhood things. In the back of my mother's closet, we find a shoebox full of letters. Letters from my father to Patricia. Love letters from when they were having their affair. Should we read them? Haley asks. I don't know. Maybe we should just throw them away. Let the past stay in the past. But curiosity wins. We read them. They're exactly what you'd expect. My father promising to leave my mother, saying how much he loves Patricia, how beautiful she is, how their daughter Bridget is the light of his life. There's one letter that stands out though, written right before Bridget turned 16. I can't keep doing this, my father writes. She's growing up too fast, looking too much like you. I find myself noticing things I shouldn't notice, thinking things I shouldn't think. I need to stay away from her. From both of you. It's not safe anymore. Haley drops the letter like it burned her. He knew, she whispers. He knew he was becoming attracted to her, and instead of getting help, he just stayed away. Let them struggle financially. Let Bridget feel abandoned by her father, because he couldn't control himself. We burn the letters that night, in my fireplace. Watch them turn to ash. Some truths don't need to be preserved. Update 3, 2 years later. Haley graduates from college summa cum laude. Ryan and Lauren fly in. Patricia comes in a wheelchair with a nurse. My mother is there too, though she's confused about why we're gathered. Peter sits next to me, holding my hand. We're all here. This strange blended family built on secrets and DNA tests and choices made years ago. Haley gives a speech as the student speaker, talks about identity and truth and family. She doesn't mention the adoption specifically, but everyone who knows our story understands what she's saying. Family isn't just about who you're born to, she says. It's about who shows up, who stays, who loves you through the hard parts. She looks right at me when she says it. After the ceremony, we all go to dinner. It's chaotic. 8 people trying to navigate conversation and figure out how we all fit together. Patricia tells embarrassing stories about Bridget. Ryan's kids ask a million questions. My mother keeps calling Haley by my name. But it works. Somehow it works. Haley gets accepted to graduate school. Stanford. Full scholarship for their psychology PhD program. She's going to study adoption trauma and family systems. I'm going to write about us, she tells me. Change the names, obviously. But our story could help other families going through similar things. You have my blessing. She moves to California in August. I help her pack up her dorm room, drive her to Palo Alto, set up her new apartment. Peter takes time off work to come help too. He's good with furniture assembly. That first night in her new place, Haley and I sit on her balcony drinking wine and watching the sunset. Are you happy? I ask her. Yeah, I really am. It took a while to get here. A lot of therapy and hard conversations and accepting truths I didn't want to accept. But I'm happy. Good. That's all I ever wanted for you. I know. And Mom? Thank you. For everything. For adopting me. For loving me. For being honest even when it was hard. For letting me build relationships with Ryan and Patricia without making me feel guilty. You could have made this so much harder than it was. You're my daughter. I'll always do what's best for you, even when it's hard for me. We sit in comfortable silence for a while. Then Haley says, I've been thinking about writing a letter to Bridget. I know she's gone, but I want to say things to her. Things I never got to say. What would you say? That I forgive her. For giving me up. For all the complicated feelings she had. For being too scared to be my mom. That I understand now why she made the choice she did. That I'm grateful she chose you. You should write it. Even if she never reads it, it might help you. 3 months later, Haley sends me a copy of the letter she wrote. I read it sitting in my car outside my mother's memory care facility. It says everything she promised it would say. But it also says more. Says she wishes she could have known Bridget. That she thinks they would have understood each other. That she carries Bridget with her in small ways. Her love of photography. Her curly hair. Her stubborn streak. I cry reading it. Then I go inside to visit my mother. She's having a good day. Recognizes me immediately. We sit in the garden and I tell her about Haley's letter. That's beautiful, my mother says. Bridget would have loved that. Did you ever talk to Bridget after she gave Haley to me? My mother thinks for a minute. Once, maybe 6 months after the adoption. She called asking about Haley, if she was healthy, if she was happy. I told her yes, and she started crying. Said thank you and hung up. I never heard from her again. Why didn't you tell me? Because you asked me not to. You said you wanted a closed adoption. That it would be easier for everyone if Bridget just disappeared. She's right. I did say that. In those early weeks when I was terrified that Bridget would change her mind and take Haley back, do you regret not telling Haley sooner? My mother asks. Sometimes, but mostly no. Those 17 years when she thought I was her biological mom, those were good years. Simple. We didn't have to navigate all this complicated family stuff. We were just a mom and daughter who loved each other. But the truth came out anyway. Yeah, it always does. I visit my mother every week. Some days she knows me. Some days she thinks I'm her sister who died 30 years ago. Some days she doesn't speak at all. On her good days, we talk about the past, about my father and his affairs and all the ways their marriage was broken. She tells me things she never told me before, how she almost left him a dozen times, how she stayed for me, how she regrets that now. You should have left, I tell her. You deserved better. Maybe. But if I'd left, you might not have turned out the way you did. And you turned out pretty well. Patricia dies in January, peacefully in her sleep. Haley and I fly to Phoenix for the funeral. There aren't many people there. Patricia had outlived most of her friends, but the people who come have stories. A former neighbor who says Patricia was always bringing her home-cooked meals when she was going through chemo. A woman from her church who says Patricia volunteered every week at the food bank. A former coworker who says Patricia was the best friend she ever had. We learned things about Patricia we never knew. That she'd been married briefly in her 20s. That she'd had a miscarriage before Bridget was born. That she'd worked 3 jobs at one point to keep them afloat. She was stronger than I gave her credit for, Haley says at the reception. We bury Patricia next to Bridget. The graves are side by side now. Mother and daughter reunited. Haley puts flowers on both graves, takes photos, says a quiet goodbye. On the flight home, she tells me she's been seeing someone, a guy in her PhD program named Lucas. They've been dating for 3 months. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I wanted to make sure it was real first. But Mom, I really like him. I think you will too. She shows me photos. Lucas is tall, dark hair, glasses, looks smart, kind. When do I get to meet him? Spring break? We're planning to visit. She brings Lucas home in March. I like him immediately. He's respectful, intelligent, makes Haley laugh. Peter likes him too, which matters more than I expected it to. We all have dinner together, 4 of us around my dining room table. It feels normal. Like this is what family is supposed to look like. Your mom tells me you're writing your dissertation about adoption trauma, Lucas says to Haley. Yeah, specifically about late discovery adoptees and how they navigate identity formation after finding out the truth. That's fascinating. What have you found so far? They talk for an hour about her research. I watch them, heads bent together over Haley's laptop, looking at data and charts. This is my daughter. brilliant and passionate and building a life that has nothing to do with me. And that's exactly how it should be. My mother dies in May, quietly. No drama. Just stops breathing one afternoon during her nap. The facility calls me and I drive over, but she's already gone by the time I arrive. Haley flies home for the funeral. Ryan sends flowers. Patricia would have been there if she were alive. We bury my mother next to my father. Even after everything, she wanted to be buried with him. I'll never understand that. At the reception, my mother's few remaining friends tell me stories. Most of them I've heard before. A few are new. One woman, Margaret, pulls me aside. Your mother talked about you all the time, she says. About how proud she was of you. How you'd overcome so much to build a good life. She never said that to me. She should have, but she felt guilty. About the lies. About your father. She thought she didn't deserve to be proud of you because she'd failed you as a mother. She didn't fail me. I know that. You know that. That night, Haley and I go through my mother's belongings. Most of it we donate, but we keep some things. Her wedding ring, her favorite sweater, a photo album from my childhood. In the back of her jewelry box, we find a necklace I've never seen before. Simple gold chain with a small pendant. Inside the pendant is a tiny photo. Bridget as a baby. She kept this, Haley whispers. All these years, she kept a photo of Bridget. We sit on my mother's bed holding the necklace, crying for all the complicated love and grief and regret that we'll never fully understand. Peter asks me to marry him in June. We're hiking in the mountains, and he stops at a scenic overlook and pulls out a ring. I know this is fast, he says. And I know we're both coming into this with a lot of baggage. But Claire, I love you. I love your strength and your kindness, and the way you love Haley even when it's hard. Will you marry me? I say yes. We have a small wedding in September. Haley is my maid of honor. Peter's daughter Emma is a bridesmaid. Lucas is there with his parents. Ryan and Lauren come. Even Ryan's kids. It's small and simple and perfect. Haley gives a toast at the reception. My mom has taught me that family is complicated, she says. That it's messy and imperfect and sometimes built on secrets. But it's also beautiful. It's people choosing to show up for each other day after day. It's love that persists even when it's hard. Peter, welcome to our weird, complicated, beautiful family. We're glad you're here. Everyone laughs. I cry. Peter kisses me. This is my life now. Remarried. Daughter in grad school. Mother and father both gone. So many secrets exposed and dealt with. It's not the life I imagined when I adopted Haley 17 years ago. But it's good. It's real. It's mine. Haley defends her dissertation in the spring. Her research becomes the foundation for new support programs for late discovery adoptees. She gets job offers from 3 different universities. She chooses San Diego. Wants to be close to Ryan and his family. I'm happy for her even though it means she's across the country. I'll visit all the time, she promises. And you and Peter can come out here. You'll love San Diego. We visit twice that first year. Stay with Ryan and Lauren, who insist we use their guest room. It's strange at first, staying in their house, eating at their table, watching them interact with Haley like she's always been part of their family, but it gets easier. Lucas proposes to Haley on her 25th birthday. She says yes. They set a wedding date for the following summer. Planning the wedding is an adventure in family diplomacy. Haley wants Ryan to walk her down the aisle alongside me. Wants to honor both families. Wants everyone to feel included. Are you okay with that? She asks me. Sharing that moment with Ryan? Honey, you wouldn't exist without Ryan. He's your father too. Of course I'm okay with it. The wedding is beautiful. Small ceremony on the beach. Haley wears a simple white dress and flowers in her hair. Lucas cries when he sees her. Ryan and I walk her down the aisle together. He's on one side, I'm on the other. Haley is in the middle, holding both our hands. When the officiant asks who gives this woman to be married, we both say, I do. At the reception, Haley asks me to dance. Thank you, she says as we sway to some slow song. For everything. For saying yes when Bridget asked you to adopt me. For raising me alone after Dad died. For being honest when the DNA test came in. For letting me build relationships with Ryan and Patricia and everyone else. For just being my mom. I wouldn't change a thing, I tell her. Well, maybe I would have told you about the adoption sooner, but everything else? Perfect. Even the part where I was mad at you for months? Even that, you needed to process. You needed to feel what you felt. I'm just glad we made it through. We did more than make it through. We're stronger now. Honestly, I think finding out I was adopted brought us closer. It forced us to be real with each other in a way we weren't before. She's right. Those 17 years when I was hiding the truth, there was always this invisible wall between us. This thing I couldn't tell her. Now, there are no secrets. No walls. Just truth and love and a relationship built on choosing each other every day. Haley and Lucas move into their first house 6 months after the wedding. It's small, but it's theirs. They adopt a dog from the shelter. A mutt named Bruno who thinks he's a lapdog despite weighing 70 pounds. I'm thinking about looking for my biological father's family, Lucas tells me one day. He's adopted too, but his adoption was different. Foster care system. No connection to birth family. Does Haley know? Yeah. She's been helping me navigate the DNA test stuff, showing me how to read the results and track down relatives. And I found a half-sister. We've been emailing. That's wonderful. Is it though? What if it goes badly? What if they don't want me? Then you'll know. and you'll decide what to do with that information. But Lucas, you deserve to know where you came from. You deserve answers. He meets his half-sister in November. Haley goes with him for support. It goes well. They discover they have 3 other half-siblings, all from the same father who apparently got around. Lucas starts building relationships with them. Slowly, carefully, the same way Haley built relationships with Ryan and Patricia. Is this just what families are now? Peter asks me one night. These complicated webs of biology and choice, and people finding each other through DNA tests? Maybe. The world is different than it was 20 years ago. Information is easier to access. Secrets are harder to keep. Do you think that's good or bad? Both. The truth is painful sometimes, but lies are painful too. At least with the truth, you know what you're dealing with. Haley gets pregnant with twins the summer she turns 27. She and Lucas are thrilled. Terrified but thrilled. I keep thinking about Bridget, she tells me. About how scared she must have been when she found out she was pregnant with me. How alone she must have felt. You're not alone. You have Lucas and me and Ryan and so many people who love you. I know, but I understand her fear now. What if I mess this up? What if I'm not a good mom? Haley, you're going to be an amazing mom. You've spent years studying family dynamics and child development. You're prepared in ways Bridget never was. What if that's not enough? Then you'll figure it out, the same way every parent figures it out, one day at a time. The twins are born in March, a boy and a girl. They name them after people they've lost. The boy is Parker, after Lucas's foster father who died when Lucas was 15. The girl is Bridget Ann. When Haley tells me they're naming their daughter after her birth mother, I cry. Are you upset? She asks. No, I'm honored. I fly out to San Diego to meet the babies. They're tiny and perfect, and they have Haley's nose. Do they look like me? Haley asks. Or like Lucas? I can't tell yet. They look like themselves. But yeah, Parker has your mouth, and Bridget has your eyes. Ryan and Lauren visit the next day, bring gifts and food and offers to help with night feedings. We all crowd into Haley and Lucas's living room, passing babies back and forth, taking too many photos. This is family now. Not the one I imagined, not the one any of us imagined, but it's real, and it's ours. I hold baby Bridget and think about her namesake, about the 19-year-old girl who gave up her baby because she thought it was the right thing to do, about how that decision changed all of our lives. I wish you could see this, I whisper to the baby. I wish Bridget could see how loved you are, how loved her daughter is, how everything turned out okay. The baby just yawns and goes back to sleep. Haley's book comes out when the twins are 18 months old. It's called Finding Family, Late Discovery, Adoption, and the Search for Truth. It becomes a bestseller in the adoption community. She does interviews and talks and book signings. At one event, a woman approaches her during the Q&A. I just found out I was adopted. The woman says, I'm 53 years old and my mother told me on her deathbed last month. I don't know how to process this. I don't know who I am anymore. Haley takes her hand. You're still you. The adoption doesn't change who you are. It just gives you more information about where you came from. And that information, it's up to you what you do with it. Did you search for your biological father? I didn't have to. He found me through a DNA test. But I did build a relationship with him. Slowly. On my own terms. Do you regret it? No. It was hard and complicated, and there were times I wanted to give up. But knowing the full truth about where I came from, that was worth it. Later, Haley tells me about the conversation. I wanted to tell her about you, she says. About how you're my real mom, even though we're not biologically related. About how family is about showing up, not about DNA. But I didn't want to overstep. You can tell my story, if it helps people. Really? Really. If what we went through can help someone else navigate this, then it's worth sharing. She starts speaking more openly about our story, about the DNA test and the secrets and the slow process of rebuilding trust, about how we both made mistakes but kept choosing each other anyway. People respond to it. She gets emails from parents who adopted and never told their children, from adoptees who found out late and don't know how to move forward, from families torn apart by secrets who are trying to heal. I never thought our story would matter to so many people, Haley tells me. All stories matter when they're true. The twins turn 3. They call me Grandma Claire. They call Peter Grandpa Pete. They call Ryan Grandpa Ryan, and Lauren Grandma Lauren. They have more grandparents than they know what to do with. Is that confusing for them? Peter asks. Probably, but they'll figure it out. Kids are resilient. We spent Christmas at Haley and Lucas's house. All of us crammed in. Ryan's family and Peter and me. We make too much food and exchange too many presents and stay up too late playing board games. At one point, I step outside for some air. The California winter is mild compared to back home. I can hear everyone inside laughing and arguing about Monopoly rules. Haley comes out to join me. You okay, Mom? Yeah, just taking it all in. This family we've built. It's pretty great, isn't it? It really is. We stand there in comfortable silence. Then Haley says, I've been thinking about Bridget a lot lately, about the choice she made, about how different my life would have been if she'd kept me. Do you wish she had? No, I mean, I wish I could have known her. But I'm glad she gave me to you. I can't imagine my life without you as my mom. Even with all the lies and the secrets? Even with all of that, you were there when it mattered. You're still here. That's what counts. Inside, Parker shouts that he's winning at Monopoly, and Bridget starts crying because she's losing. Normal kid chaos. Our chaos. We should go back in, Haley says. Yeah, before Peter bankrupts everyone. We go back inside. Back to the noise and the mess and the complicated, beautiful family we've built from secrets and DNA tests and choices made years ago. This is my life. Not perfect, not simple, but mine. And I wouldn't change a thing.